Welcome, everyone. I am happy to share some of the feedback that I have gathered and a few of the bright spots that have emerged that foster engagement, community building, and learning. I plan on using all the tactics that I talk about today as we shift back to face-to-face classrooms in the fall. Nowadays, everything comes with a lengthy manual, and my course is no different. My syllabus is 9 pages of what-ifs. Some students may never need all of that information, but some will, and in case they need it, the syllabus has it covered. Just like when we get a shiny new gadget, instead of reading the manual, most of us will opt for that quick start guide. And over the past few semesters, I have been sending students a quick start guide the week before classes start that gives them the basics. 78% of students reported that this was very helpful. So do students need any help with digital tools? They can easily navigate things like Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. But what does it really look like for students in terms of digital tools that we use in our courses? Often students need to navigate a couple of platforms in a single course. And while those of us here at the University of South Alabama are all using Canvas, we likely use another tool as well. And even if you don't, some of us prefer that our students submit assignments as Google Docs, while others prefer Microsoft Word Docs. With that in mind, this semester I decided to devote a week to digital training. Yes, 3 class sessions. I focused on the tools that I use and the format of assignments that I expected. Looking at the feedback from students, 84% indicated that it was very helpful. Okay, so what does digital training actually look like? I think you start with your university's LMS, and for those of us again at South, that is Canvas. In my courses, students began with a discussion assignment where they introduced themselves and replied to 2 other students. This started the digital training and community building. In a survey I conducted recently, students ranked items of importance to their learning: homework, self-paced days, class videos, and our top hat classroom meets were the top 4 in that order. So my class videos included questions scattered throughout them so that students had the ability to practice. 95% of students completed the quizzes that were associated with those class videos, and students indicated that those questions helped them to focus better on the videos. And instead of Zoom this semester, I used Top Hat Virtual Classroom. To me, it was Zoom on steroids, designed for teaching instead of meeting. I uploaded my PowerPoint slides and sprinkled them with practice questions. Those questions helped me to know if the content was sticking, and students again had that immediate feedback. They can see how they are doing and how the rest of the class is doing. And they had the ability to express themselves through emojis in an emoji wall. And those emojis weren't linked back to their name. I think that gave them a sense of freedom. Building community can happen in the remote environment. Here you see students are struggling with this question because many of them are changing their answer. And what they realize is that they are not alone. And I can see the breakdown of numbers and likely determine where the problem is occurring. As the semester went on, you really see that students are starting to support each other. You see student 3 is supporting student 2, student 5 is agreeing with student 1, and student 7 likes the student 6 question. So real sense of community is starting to emerge here. Teaching students that we learn from making mistakes can be really tough, especially if they lose tons of credit when they make the mistake. One of the things that I think attributed to a fairly high attendance rate this semester was the fact that you could easily earn credit in class sessions on most every question by simply participating. Keeping meetings lively was pretty easy because question formats were constantly shifting. Here you see I'm asking students to click on the target, but maybe the next question is a fill in the blank or a word answer, so you really had to be on your toes. Now, The chat box always lit up whenever I would switch to sketching, either using the whiteboard and top hat, or whenever I could remember to charge my iPad, I would use it instead because my handwriting is a little sloppy. This is a feature that I will continue to use in the lecture hall because oftentimes students that sit in the back cannot see our whiteboard. Students really engaged with the structure of assignments this semester. For this assignment, you see I embedded an HHMI biointeractive video and included a series of questions underneath it. Once the due date passed, I simply synced the grades back to Canvas and then posted it as a review in Top Hat. Before tests this semester, I used a game called Leaderboard in Top Hat. Students indicated that this was very helpful for their review, plus it was fun. What is great about this game is that even if you never make it to the top 10 or the podium, you still might catch on fire for a question. So what's the forecast for the future? Digital tools are likely a permanent part of our courses, and as I look towards the fall, I see a shift in my courses to an eventual hybrid model. I also see a continued need for the virtual classroom for some. And lastly, engagement will always remain at the forefront. So I created a Top Hat class for this meeting and posted a few folders from my current course so that if you are interested, you can hop right in and check it out as a student. Simply follow the link and click on the assigned folder. So thank you so much for joining me today, and please let me know if you have any questions.